Hi everyone, I'm Andrea. I've been streaming on Twitch for a minute now. I recently rebranded myself a couple months ago and I started making content in English. And I thought about it and I really like the idea of trying to share my experience, even though unfortunately, due to this rebranding, my numbers do not really match my amount of time spent on the platform anymore. But I have a lot of experience on Twitch. I spent a lot of years practicing and doing stuff. So I thought about sharing my knowledge a little bit because I wish someone had made a bit more in-depth, foolproof tutorials and like explanations when I first started. So if you're here, chances are you just clicked on the video and you're not affiliated yet, in which case I still would like to keep you around if you want to, but you don't have channel points yet, or you're affiliated and I'm super proud of you and now you have the channel points and you're panicking because there's so much potential but you just have no idea. I believe that channel points can be helpful, very helpful, but they're fundamentally not that important. They keep people in your stream pretty much, and they create a bigger sense of community. They can be fun. It also depends on what you want to do with them. It's totally up to you. I'm gonna show you everything I know and everything I can tell you within this video. If you're interested in anything that I mentioned throughout the video, want something more in depth and or just something else, anything really, I might just do a video about that if that can be helpful. So just let me know in the comments. So first off, where do we find the channel points? We go on our little icon here, and then we go to creator dashboard, and we're gonna have a menu on the side. Specifically, we're interested in viewer rewards, power up, and channel points. So enable channel points. This should be enabled by default. There's no reason why you should disable it. As you'll see, you have total control of them. If you ever happen to disable it, or the moment you get affiliated, it's disabled and you manually cannot switch between one or the other, so you cannot enable it, you need to contact the Twitch support. It's a bug. They're gonna manually enable it for you. Now, customize points display. I suggest you doing this for as simple, for as silly as it could be. I suggest you making it yours. You create a points name if for whatever reason you change your mind, blah, blah, blah. You don't wanna manually rewrite it. You can reset to default. You can change it anytime. I literally changed it 3 days ago, adding spoopy, and you can change these icons. Now, if you've already tried to upload emotes, you might have noticed that emotes take time. In my experience, these icons never take time, but I do have a friend who I believe did have to wait like an hour before they were visible. So I suggest you putting them up a little bit before you're gonna start your next stream. I mean, this is pretty much the same format for most things on Twitch, so it's gonna be MPG. It is to be the exact same image in 3 different sizes, the maximum file size, which you rarely get more of this, okay? So if you do, it's gonna tell you blah blah blah. It gives you a little preview down here, which is super cute. And then you click save and we're done here. And then we get to manage power-ups and channel points. I know there's a lot going on screen. I promise we'll get through this together, okay? It's easier than it seems. Let's start with community challenges. What are they? Exactly what it says. You set up a challenge and your whole community chips in. Everyone can participate and put in their channel points. So this is a free option for objectives or challenges that you or goals that you want to reach to do something. This can be anything. I've personally always ever done it with video games, specifically horror games. I have one currently going on, as you can see, but we'll create one together. I know that I might sound like your mom telling you this, but don't put anything in the challenges that you don't want to do. Put something that you would like to do, you just need a little incentive. Not just that, but in general, community challenges are a great way to know where your community stands in terms of interest in a specific type of content. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know if my viewers like it. This is a perfect way to find out. Now we're gonna create one together, and I'm gonna show you everything that you need to know. So, create community challenge. We're gonna give it a name, AA. We're gonna put a description, a bunch of B's. Goal amount. Now, bear with me. What I think is, what if one of my followers, of my viewers, really, really wants to see whatever is in the challenge, so wants me to play that video game or do that specific event stream or whatever. How many days would it take them to complete the challenge by themselves? A single person who really wants to complete it by themselves. And here's the thing, people can chip in for a minimum of 250 and then for a max per stream of 2k. Because of that, I usually think around 10 or 15 days, so 10 or 15 per 2k. But for me, like the lowest that I personally go is 20k. You can also see it down here. Sometimes I get confused by the amount of zeros here, but it's much easier to see this. And this column on the right is the preview, how it's gonna look. Then we have the number of days. You can pick up max 30. Then you have the icon. I'm just gonna find a random emote. Again, PNG, right size, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. Background color is just for around, it's like a square around your emote. So here, what I'm particularly interested in showing you, because I'm not live, that's the only thing that I cannot show you exactly how it looks, is how it will appear while you're streaming. The very next stream after you started, which is different from creating, it's gonna show up on the top of the chat, both on mobile and desktop. Every time you reach a specific amount, if I remember correctly, it's like 25, 50, 75%, maybe 90%, I'm not sure. And when you complete it, it's also gonna show up. But it's not gonna show up at the top of your chat in every stream, just the first one, and just every time you reach a goal, it's gonna tell your chat about that. Now, as you can see, we have edit, and we can go back at it, and then we have start. As it tells you here, the moment you start it, you will not be able to edit it. So start challenge, and now it says 30 days left. Okay, so now we're on my channel. And if I go here, in general, as you can see, you can actually see both of them. Same goes for mobile. But some people have told me that they could see just one of them. So keep that in mind. How do we check the description? We go in here and we just click it and we see everything. When you complete it, a little graphic is gonna appear on the top of the chat. It's gonna say that you completed it. Every time someone participates in the challenge and puts points in there, you see it in the chat. For me, I've never had an issue checking the chat on mobile or desktop. Either way, I can see the points. I personally thank people. I know that some people don't say anything. Again, up to you. When it gets completed, it's gonna still show up here forever, potentially. Completely green. Obviously, people cannot add any more points. It's gonna say that it's completed. And then you go back here, it's gonna give you 100%, and it's gonna give you an extra button telling you to mark it as complete. And that's what you will have to do to complete it. But if you wanna delete it, because you changed your mind, you don't wanna do it anymore, or there's major editing needed, not just typos, but like actual, the content needs to be edited and changed, you can delete this community challenge and people will get their channel points back. So I'm gonna do this and it just disappears. And there we go. Moving to the next one, power-ups. We're not gonna sit for this one longer. These are just effects. This is new stuff. We don't know what Twitch has in plan for this, if they are gonna make more, if you'll be able to fully customize them. The only thing you can customize right now is the cost in bits. These are real money. Keep in mind that 1 bit is 1 cent. I personally suggest you to go on the lower side of the spectrum. Actually, because of that, I'm gonna move this one to 10 as well, because I love this one. Keep the prices that are there by default, change them, you do you. Default rewards, manage smart cost. I genuinely have no idea like how exactly this is supposed to do it, but still, I did not, as you can see, like aside from modify a single emote, the rest of them are the same amount. You can change icons here. I just have never done it, even though I should, I know. Then I have custom rewards. I'm just gonna go down through all of them in case you want to check them. So as you can see, the ones that are like more expensive are also like more disruptive in a way. The raid one being this high is for the very simple reason that unfortunately there's a lot of like fishy action going around raids. So there will be people who will use like second accounts, go into every person with raid the channel points, follow them so they have enough channel points, and then like raid their first channel. I kind of draw the line around like 200, 220. These are not disruptive in your stream, but they're still a lot. Keep in mind that roughly on average, viewers get 220 points per hour of watching content. As you can tell, I don't use any extension of any kind. I don't use blurb or anything. I cannot help you with any of that. These are like the default basic Twitch stuff. But I'll show you how to do the TTS. Then we have 100 or less, which are things that I still want to make them somewhat rewarding for the person to achieve, but they're not disruptive. Trick with them, I suggest you to not overdo it, is disable and re-enable the ones that you want to highlight for a specific stream. So now we're gonna go back in here, and oh, when you look at that, now it's first. People are gonna see it. It also says new. This is the first time someone opens your channel points page after you've disabled and re-enabled. So if you do this before a stream, it's a really good way to highlight specific rewards. There's also the collection of like the ones that they make. You can do it if you want. I have just a couple. Lose the glasses. I kind of wanted to do it, but mine are non-prescription, so it's kind of pointless. It just burns my eyes. You can also change the prices of this. Obviously, I have a few of them, like raid is one of those. You can change the price. So let's create a custom reward. Again, we're gonna do whatever. If we put require viewer to enter text, this is gonna be mandatory. So you don't want to do it for rewards that are like just the reward itself makes sense. Italian only, for example, which is one that I made because I'm mother tongue Italian. I thought it would be fun. People really like it personally. So if you speak 2 languages, that's a good idea. Going back at this, so this is gonna be mandatory. Keep that in mind. It's annoying when you need to feel something when the reward actually couldn't care less about. Then you put the number of points that it's gonna cost, the icon, background of the icon, and in this case it's the whole block. We're just gonna look at this. I'm just gonna tell you, and then I'm gonna show you in a little bit what we're talking about. So I know this is not gonna make like super duper sense, but I promise it's gonna. But we're doing this right now. So skip reward request queue. This means that the moment people, if I enable it, Twitch is gonna automatically consider it as completed. So there will be no occasion for me to refund the points that have been spent. In general, I suggest you don't put it. It's unnecessary. Then you have cooldown and limits. This is helpful to avoid spam. So you can put, for example, hydrate, you can put like a cooldown of 30 minutes so people can use it every 30 minutes. Otherwise, you're gonna choke and you're gonna turn into 90% water. Limit redemption per stream, let's say 10. 10 means that one person can redeem it 10 times, 10 people can redeem it 1 time, and all of the different variations in between. And then redemptions per user per stream. If we put 1, 10 people can do it just one time. If you want to put 10, it means that each viewer can redeem it up to 10 times, but it's still gonna respect the one up here. Now, I used to have this on the VIP for a month. I don't even know why, honestly, when I created it, but still think it was, even though it was correct here, it wasn't fully working for some reason. So instead of using the limits, I suggest you using the cooldown, which I know to work perfectly. And also, I'm just gonna show you like the hydrate one, for example. You can just put the cooldown. Like I put the cooldown for 10 minutes because otherwise it was gonna be too much. Now, how to do the TTS and how to show the alerts on screen and queue. We go into alerts, we're still in the dashboard. I'm just gonna show you the ones that I have. This is my forehead for the follow, which I never even used, but it's whatever. I'm gonna move up here. You have channel points, and here you can create alerts directly on Twitch, and currently it's the only way that I'm aware of for you to have the alerts on screen for the channel points. These alert thing, there's a lot going on. Okay, if you don't know how to do this, I can make a video, let me know in the comments, but I will not go in depth. So if you have done this before, or if you're gonna look into it, you have a rough idea on how to do things. For the TTS specifically, you're gonna go into this text to speech. You're gonna do here text to speech. You can say the alert text, but it's just, in this case, it's Tyler just redeemed TTS. It's useless in my opinion. Say redemption message, you're gonna enable this, then you're gonna pick your language, and then you pick the voice. I personally picked Matthew and put it at 50. Matthew is like the average AI voice. I'm gonna show you and let you listen how it sounds when this comes up on stream.
What did one ocean say to the other ocean? Nothing, it just waved.
That joke. But yeah, that's what it looks like, that's what it sounds like. So that's how we do TTS in a very simple way, without having to use blurb or anything. This is, as I showed you, like the basic Twitch, and these tools are all within Twitch. So what is the channel points queue? I feel like it's pretty easy to tell, but still, it's the queue, it's the list. It's not really a queue, but it's a list of the channel point rewards that have been redeemed recently with all the info about it. There's a couple ways to get into that page. I'm gonna show you all of them. First one is right here, review request queue, and it's gonna open this page, which I normally keep. I actually do have it in my second screen. There you go, we got two of them now. Second way, and I'm gonna move here, we go to stream manager, which you should be like, you should know what this is already. This one with this little bubble, if it's not here, I personally don't remember, I'm so sorry, but I don't remember if it's here by default. If it's not here, you press the plus, go down in these pink ones, and you find it here. Again, the bubble. You add it, you click it, and it opens the exact same window again. Third and last way, you go back on your stream, in your chat, there's this little sword that says mod view. This is another page that I always keep open in the background because it has a lot of helpful tools. And here you have a smaller version in the page, small version of it. So I just put Google behind just because I feel like it's a black screen. It's so much easier to see everything. Now, you have here, it says all requests 1, or you can go through all of them. You can pause them or disable them. If you don't want to go in here, you can just disable them in the other one. You can see all of them. You also have another way to edit them and go back. I normally keep it on all. It tells you when it was redeemed. You can report the person. It tells you what it was. This is the name of what they redeemed, pick a song. This is the text, because pick a song does have a mandatory text, and the name of the person. You can mark it as complete or rejected, and there's my my thingy. Okay. Refund points back to user. So the moment you reject one, so you're not doing that thing, you're giving the points back. When you don't want to do it, like, you still have a choice. That's what I said earlier when I said you have full control. There is the option for you to reject it. Use it. It was given to you because you are not your viewer's toy. If you don't want to do something, if you don't want to play a song, if you don't want to drink, even, do it. Do you remember when earlier we had to enable or disable skip queue? It means that if you have it enabled, it's never gonna show up here. It's automatically gonna mark it as complete. I also don't suggest it, like, I don't do it. Don't put the skip, because I like having the full list. I like seeing how much interaction I had that day. And this is also very helpful for when whatever it is doesn't go the perfect way. So you have the alerts on. For example, you have the TTS alert, the one I just showed you, and it doesn't work. You can just reject, give back the points, and be like, oh, listen, I'm gonna give you the points back because it didn't work. Sometimes people will, like, maybe on mobile, click it 2 times and it actually redeems it 2 times. You can give back one of them because it doesn't count, it didn't by mistake. I'm going back in the corner down here because last thing I'm gonna show you is that when people redeem stuff, it does show up in the chat. Again, it should show up, like, for me, it does show up on mobile. You might have issues. If you have issues, 100% it's gonna be only with mobile and not with the web version, blah blah blah. So this is pretty much all you need to know about channel points. Again, I'm talking about this current time, the early days of October 2024. So stuff might change, and obviously this will not be updated because it's a video. I hope I went in detail enough and helped you out enough. If you want to stop by my stream, if I helped you out, it's not mandatory, okay? I want to grow organically. I don't want you to feel like you have to because I helped you on this. Not at all. So I would still like you to see you and know that I gave you a hand. With that said, we'll see each other in the next video or next time I'm streaming. Bye!